What's up, guys? How you doing? Dubs Hill back again. Hope you're good during this pandemic lockdown. I know we had the announcement from the government yesterday. The clarity is still a little bit unknown for most, although it has given people another excuse to act even more irresponsibly. But that's not the reason for this video. The reason for this video is I've had quite a few people mention and commenting on just how interesting and how valuable my Final Cut video editing tips and tricks and tutorials have been. So I thought, you know, I'm going to do another one today. That's right. It's all about giving back. So I've decided today I'm going to make another tutorial video based on my top 15. That is right, not 10, not 5, my top 15 Final Cut editing shortcuts. Now, most of these, well, all of these I use constantly, just because it makes my workflow and the speed of my editing a lot easier and a lot faster and a lot more efficient. So I'm hoping by passing this knowledge on to you guys that you guys will be able to put these into your workflow and hopefully make it easier and faster and more efficiently for you. So let's get on into my tips. So if we open up Final Cut, which I've got open, so the first one, which is pretty basic, and a lot of you probably already use this, but some of you may not. So the first tip is, number one, is to import your media into Final Cut from your computer or your hard drive. Is simply Command I. Now this opens up this import window. Yeah, we can then choose which clips we want to import. So what I've got here, I've got this footage here, so I'm just going to highlight just some of this just for the tutorial. Then I'm going to hit import. Now this is going to bring this all into my browser, so you can see here I've got all these clips all ready to go. How good is that? You probably already use this. I'm not teaching you to suck eggs, but there are some newbies out there that I'm sure will find this content very, very valuable. Okay, so number two is, when we're going through our clips in here, obviously, you know, we're not going to probably not going to want to use all of the clip, probably because when we press the record button, especially if you're doing handheld, there's going to be that horrible shaky bit at the beginning and we want to get rid of it. So, but what we can do is we can move our playhead along here, and then we can hit I, and that, see that yellow square, that's going to create the in part of our clip. So that is where the clip is going to start basically, and then we can carry on along here, and then where we want to finish the clip we can hit O, and that is our outs. And then what we can do is we can drag this clip down into our timeline, and all that's dragged down is not the whole clip, but that has just dragged down that section that we've selected. Now if that's not a game changer, I don't know what is. So anyway, let's just delete this out of here quickly. All right, so just another one quickly as well. I like to work with the magnetic timeline. Some people do, some people don't, some people add it. I always like to edit with the magnetic timeline. I just feel it just gives me a little bit more freedom when I'm editing, to not have to worry about each video clip keeps snapping back on bolting onto the end of the last clip. It gives me the freedom to be able to drag and leave it exactly where I want it. So a very, very quick way of pulling the clip in with a magnetic timeline is go up to your browser, hit your clip, hit the Q button, bosh, there we go, magnetic timeline. And then we can extend this to how long, if we've got an audio track or something like that, we want to extend that in there, that's that job done. So that's good. Okay, so let's just delete that out, and let's just bring that in again. Okay, so every tradesman has his tools, yeah, and to be an efficient tradesman you need to have a good selection of tools, and you need to be able to access them nice and quickly and especially, more importantly, you need to know where they are in order to do that part of the job, that particular cut task. So we'll go into shortcuts for the tools, okay? So first of all, obviously we've got the shortcuts down here, yeah, along there, which tell you what the shortcuts are anyway, but I'll go through them anyway, just for the purpose of the video. So we've got A, yeah, A, which is your select tool, which we can use to select our clips, our audio, and anything else, yeah. Let me just bring another clip in down here, and a couple more down here, just for the purposes of the video. Okay, so if we want to make a little cut incision, and I mean like a surgical incision in our video clip, then we can use the blade tool. So a quick way of accessing that is B. See what I did there? B for blade. And then we can go along and we can cut these clips to where we want. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty decent. That is pretty decent what we can do there. Okay, so that's the blade tool, and then A to go back to our select tool. Yeah. Another one, what I like to use especially is the position tool. Yeah, position tool. So we've got P. Now what this allows us to do is move this clip wherever we want without it snapping back into our timeline. Yeah, we can put it down here on the magnetic timeline. That's obviously bolted onto there now. Okay, that's a great one. Yeah, and then A again, back to go down to our move tool, our position tool. Okay, another great one, and I use this mostly, this next tool, more when I'm working with audio. Yeah, so for instance, if I've got music running under some B-roll, and then it cuts back to me, say sitting in the studio talking or whatever, and I don't want the same volume level of that music track playing underneath, because you're not going to hear a damn word that I'm saying, are you? So what I want to do is I just want to select a part of that clip and just edit, increase or decrease that volume. And it's a great tool, the range tool, and just hit the R. Now what we can do is we can go down onto our clip, left click, and just drag it across. And what it's done now is just given us that section, and then we can just hover over the volume, and we can mess around, we can increase or decrease the volume just on that one part of that clip. And I mean, that is a real quick of editing and automating like volume, you know, or speech or audio as a whole. So that's a really good tool, that is. Another one as well, you've probably found when you're trying to increase and decrease the volume of a clip, whether it be like music, MP3 or WAV file, or actually just in one of your video clips, it's really sloppy to try and get this 1 dB at a time, to move that up and to move that down. Yeah, it is a bit of a pain. So this one is the plus and minus buttons. Hold down Control, see that? See that? 1 dB at a time that's going down. You have to hover the mouse over again still, but again I can increase this just 1 dB at a time, and that's really intricate, and that's really good if you want to adjust volumes, whether it be video audio or actual music audio. That is just in itself, that is a great one. Okay, so what are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So tip number 8. This is a basic one for a lot of you, but still some people don't know this one. Expand, zoom in and out of your timeline. You might be working on a bit of a clip and you need to get in a little bit closer, a little bit more intricate. Command plus and minus. Look, and that will zoom all the way in, or you can zoom all the way out. Yeah, so you can really get in there and see the waveforms, or you can see which part of the clip you want to edit, and that's a great one. Yeah, if you want to come back to the whole project, just a simple Shift Z, and that will bring your whole project back up, back in the room. Okay, so my next one, cutting clips. Now I do use the blade tool occasionally, some people use it all the time. However, it's not very frequent that I'll use the blade tool, because I prefer to use this command, yeah, which is Command B, which does the same thing really, but what I can do is if I highlight the clip that I want to cut and get my playhead and then hit Command B, that will cut that part of the clip on its own. I can just hit the delete and that's gone, and I can do the same up here, highlight the clip, get my playhead where I want it to end, Command B. Obviously make sure you select the right part of the clip, because it will always select the clip on the left hand side, highlight and delete that straight out. That's a great little shortcut, and I use that all the time, and that makes things very, 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 very fast in order to be able to cut parts out of clips. Obviously if you want to cut a section out of the middle, then I would encourage you to use the blade tool, because you can just make a blade incision either side, select that and then delete that out. Yeah. Okay, another one is if you want to cut apart from here, if you've got two clips together here and you want to get rid of this bit here, yeah, Option, open bracket tool. Obviously this isn't moving because I've got the magnetic timeline on for a reason, but you can see what I mean. So if you're at the end of the clip, then I can just go Option, open brackets. Obviously you've got the right and the left brackets. It's self-explanatory. If you want to cut from the right hand side, use the right hand open bracket, and on the left hand side you use the left open bracket. So that's pretty self-explanatory. My next tip is markers. Now a lot of people I've found out recently in the last week that have contacted me about my last tutorial, especially with the loop deck and stuff, and where I've done how I make my YouTube intro videos, said that I've just learned so much about using markers, and I'm like, what do you mean? You know I hardly ever use markers, and I'm like, well, why the hell not? You know I mark my audio, because first thing I do is I'll get some audio in the timeline, because obviously I want to edit my video content to the music, so it works with the track. So the transitions and the clip edits and the clip changes, they change either on a beat, or on a clap, or a snare, and obviously so I use the markers and put the markers in place on my audio, on my audio track, so then I can edit my video footage, my video clips on those markers, and it makes it a lot faster, rather than putting all your clips in your timeline with your audio and then having to go through enlarge the audio clip to see where the beats are and stuff, and it's not very fast and it's not very accurate. So I like to use markers, and I also use markers in video clips. If I've got a bit of a video clip and I'm putting another bit on top, because if I've got someone talking maybe about a product, and I still want to keep the audio underneath of the product of the person explaining, but I want a quick little snippet in the video, then I can put a marker, where the right point for that to come in is. I could literally come along here, hit M there, so I know that is the point where I want to drag that in. Yeah, and again M on there, and that might be the point where I want to drag that out and just cut that with a blade tool, select that. So I know, obviously don't worry about the audio on this, but I know with them markers, bosh, that's going to come in, it's going to show that bit, and then we're going to get along, and it's going to come, and then it's going to drop back out. So I find them really, really handy and really, really valuable. So the fact that a lot of people I've spoken to recently, especially in the last 5-7 days, don't use them, have said, oh my God, I'm going to start using markers. Obviously I have this great thing here, which is movable markers, which a lot of people don't have. So, if you make a marker and it's in the wrong place, you're like, bollocks. You've got to right click, you've got to go delete it, then you've got to hopefully do it again. But with this, I can put these movable markers. That's a little secret trick. And that's from Command Post. If you don't know how to do that, then check out my loop deck tutorial video, which I think 2 videos ago, and it shows on there exactly how to do the movable markers and set them up with Command Post so you can use them in Final Cut. So that's excellent. Okay, so my next one is, you spent ages color grading and automating audio on that first clip, and you've got another 20 odd clips in your timeline that you need to edit and color grade, etc., but you know it's going to take you a lifetime to edit and get them all the same. Well, fear not. Yeah, fear not, because this little trick, watch this. So we've color graded all of this. Obviously we've not done anything to this, but just for the purposes of the tutorial. So we highlight this clip, Command C, that's going to copy it. Okay, then what we can do is highlight all the rest of these clips and hold Shift Command V, and it's going to bring up this, and you have all these that you can select or deselect depending on what it is that you actually want to paste, and then hit the paste button, and all these other clips now have the same attributes: color grading, audio automation, everything you've done to this clip you can choose to do to all these and just copy and paste them. So that on its own is such a massive efficient time saver in your editing. Okay, now this is my last one. Yes, that's right, my last one is for adding transitions and stuff like that. Sometimes it moves clips about and jigs clips to the left and the right and shortens clips, and it puts your whole film sequence out of sync. Now, and also sometimes you might want to just edit a bunch of clips, 3 or 4 clips in its own little section. So what we can do is we create our own little storyline on our main storyline. So how we do this is just select all of our clips here and then hit Command G. See this grey bar? Now all these clips together are their own storyline on their own. So we can add transitions, etc, etc, and that's created its own little separate storyline, which does come in very, very handy, especially when you're doing intros or short little things and you want to add effects and transitions just into one part of the storyline. That creates its own other little storyline. Anyway, and that's it for my 15 tips and tricks. No, actually it's tips and tricks for Final Cut edit and workflow. Hope you liked the video, hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you want to know about editing or Final Cut, and I'll make another video especially for you. So if you liked the video, thumbs up if you did, please. Don't forget, hit that bell and that big red subscribe button down the bottom, and I'll be back soon. I'm Dubs Hill. Catch you soon. Take care.